Once it smiled a silent dell, where the people did not dwell. They had gone on to the wars, trusting to the mild-eyed stars nightly, from their azure towers, to keep watch above the flowers, in the midst of which all day the red sunlight lazily lay. Now each visitor shall confess the sad valley's restlessness. Nothing there is motionless, nothing save the airs that brood over the magic solitude.
Ah, by no wind or stirred those trees that palpitate like the chill seas around the misty Hebrides. Ah, by no wind are those clouds driven that rustle through the unquiet heaven uneasily from morn till even. Over the violets there that lie in myriad types of the human eye, over 3 lilies there that wave and weep above a nameless grave. They wave. From out their fragrant tops, eternal dew comes down in drops. They weep. From off their delicate stems, perennial tears descend in gems.
30 seconds to air. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting from the Cardinal Theater Studios, it's Theater of the Mind. Radio You Can See, written by Philip Grecian and based on the works of Edgar Allan Poe. In a moment, Twisted Tales of Poe. But first, these words.
Tula Taqueria is located in the Polaris area of Columbus, Ohio. We at Tula Taqueria are originally from Union de Tula, Jalisco, Mexico, and this is where we get our name. We came to know good tacos through growing up in California, surrounded by taquerias and visiting the street carts in Tijuana and Jalisco. We specialize in barbacoa, carnitas, and adobata, which is marinated pork. Alongside street tacos, we also offer more modern items like chimichangas and queso fries.
And now, turn out your lights and move in close to the glow of the radio dial for Twisted Tales of Poe.
What time is it?
Why do you care?
Why shouldn't I care? I do care.
The women would know. Maybe.
Anybody awake over there?
What do you want?
They are awake. Move up closer. Maybe we can see them. Hey, over there.
What?
Come up to the bars, up in the corner. All of you. We can maybe see each other.
Why not? Sure.
Ah, there you are. What time is it?
How should we know?
Is it still daylight?
Who cares?
You've got a window.
Not much of a window. Too high and narrow. Can't look out.
I'd give anything to have a window. To see the sun.
You'll see it soon enough. I've heard them building the gallows out in the yard.
Comes to that, we'll all see it soon enough.
We've all got that in common.
Murder, you mean?
I had no choice.
Of course you didn't. Hey!
What?
Move out where I can see you. That's good. Anybody else awake over there?
Just the poet.
The poet?
The quiet one?
Oh. Poet, huh?
Catalepsy. The god told me.
Which one?
The one that brings the food.
Oh, I like him.
What'd he say?
Told me yesterday the quiet one's a poet. I think it was yesterday.
Doesn't move, doesn't speak, just stares. Mad? No.
Not like some.
What are you saying? Do you think me mad?
What I think doesn't matter, love. You'll hang all the same.
Why would you say I'm mad? Well, certainly I have a disease of the senses, a condition of the senses that sharpen them. Above all, the sense of hearing.
I see.
No, truly, it's become acute. I hear all things in heaven and earth. I hear many things in hell. Madness? No, it's my condition, my curse. Let me tell you how calmly I can tell my story. Like a person not mad.
Very well.
It's impossible to say how the idea first came to me. But once it did, it haunted me.
You hated him.
No. I loved the old man. He had never wronged me.
Then why did you kill him? Money?
No. I never took money. It wasn't for his money.
Then what?
His eye.
His eyes? But what did...
No. Just one of his eyes. Only one. It was larger than the other, and pale blue with the film over it. An evil eye. It saw me. It knew me. It wanted to destroy me. Whenever it fell upon me, my blood ran cold. I made up my mind to kill it, to take its life and end the evil.
Kill the eye?
Yes, but to do that, I had to kill the old man. There was no other way. I didn't hate the old man. I loved him. But...
You truly are mad. A lunatic.
No. A lunatic knows nothing, but I know everything. I was careful. I planned it out carefully. Can a lunatic do that?
I don't see why not.
I had been engaged to nurse the old man through his illness. You must know that I was never kinder to him than during the week I killed him. I would see to his needs during the day and go to my own home in the evening. That week, every night that week, at midnight, I would return. I would creep into his house and quietly steal up to the door of his room. I would open the door so gently and put in a dark lantern closed up so that no light shone out. And I would put in my head slowly so as not to disturb the old man's sleep. I could see him in the moonlight through the window. See him upon his bed. I would undo the lantern so that a single thin ray fell upon that eye, that vulture eye. But every night it was closed, so it was impossible to do my work.
Your work?
It wasn't the old man who vexed me, it was that eye, that evil eye. But for 5 nights it was not there, you see. It was closed, asleep, and I was safe from it. Once I knew this, I would creep out, leave the house, and go to my own apartment. But every morning then, I would go back to his house and to his chamber. Good morning.
Oh, good morning, my friend.
And did you sleep well?
I told well, thank you.
Good. I brought you breakfast.
No, I'll have a cup of tea. That will be enough.
Nonsense. I won't hear of it. Sit up.
Oh, you have a good heart. You are so good to me.
Let me puff up your pillows then. There we are. Ease back. There. How's that?
Oh, excellent. It does my heart good to see how you care.
Now, here's a tray, you see. Oh, look out now. We'll set it across your lap. There.
Oh, the aroma.
Wait till you see. Sausage and eggs.
Sausage and eggs. A meal after my own heart.
There's more. Bread, fresh from the oven, toasted and buttered.
You baked this?
I did, and churned the butter as well.
You've gone to such trouble. It warms my heart to see how you look after me.
And here.
Oranges.
And melon, fresh from the market this morning.
Melon. You fulfill my heart's every desire.
And tea. Here you are.
Oh, just smell that.
A breakfast fit for a king, eh?
Aye, a hearty breakfast indeed.
Of course. Eat it all. You must keep up your strength.
I will take what you say to heart, my friend. Come back in an hour and there'll not be a single scrap left on the tray.
Very good. Till then.
Till then.
You see, it was that way each morning after my midnight visits for a week. Then, on the 8th night, I came along the street. climbed the steps to his front door, and quickly, so as not to be seen by anyone on the street. Then up the stairs to his door. I was more than usually cautious in opening the door. I knew that this would be the night. I could feel it. He moved, as if startled.
He awoke? Did you?
Shh. Now you may think I drew back. But no. His room was filled thick with darkness, for there was no moon.
The light from the hallway?
There was none, and my lantern was shuttered. I simply kept pushing on the door, slowly, for I knew he could not see it. And then, just as I was prepared to open the shutters of the lantern,
Who's there?
He was awake.
yes, but he could not see. For a whole hour, I did not move a muscle.
He went back to sleep?
I knew he was sitting up in bed, listening.
I've done that. Awakened at night. Listened.
But I was quiet, you see. Would a lunatic have been quiet?
Well, but you...
Shh.
What?
Did you hear? Shh. Oh. There it is again. You know what it is?
What?
It is the groan of mortal terror, the low, stifled sound that arises from the bottom of the soul. Many a midnight it has welled up from my own bosom, deepening with its dreadful echo the terrors that had awakened me.
Terrors?
Terrors. I knew then what the old man felt. I knew that he had been lying awake ever since he heard the first slight noise. And I knew.
What?
That he knew. That he knew death lurked just past the reach in the Stygian darkness beyond his bed. And I knew that I was to be the instrument of his death.
Madness!
No, not mad. Not mad, I'm not.
Who's there?
How could he?
He'll give me away. Silence.
Hello? Hello? Wind in the chimney, just a mouse. A cricket. Hello?
And when I had waited patiently without hearing him lie down, I resolved to open the shutters on the lantern. Only a bit. Just a very, very little crevice. So that a single thin ray, like the thread of a spider, shot from the lamp and fell upon that vulture eye. And it was open. Huge and dull blue, with a hideous veil that chilled the very marrow in my bones. That eye, that awful eye, that evil eye, it saw me. I knew it did. And then I heard the sound.
The sound?
I have said what you mistake for my madness is an acuteness of the senses.
You have said that, yes.
Knowing this, you must believe me when I say there came to my ears a low, dull, quick sound. Such as a watch makes when wrapped in cotton. I knew that sound.
You knew it?
It was the beating of the old man's heart. Hear it? Hear it? Boom, boom. It increased my fury. It was all I could do to keep still. I scarcely breathed. I held the lamp upon that eye, that wicked eye, that evil eye. The beating of his heart increased, as fast as thought, as loud as drums. Da-doom, 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 da-doom. My horror rose, it saw, it knew, da-doom, 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 that evil eye, that foul tattoo. Ta-doom, 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 ta-doom. I prayed the old man's heart would burst. Ta-doom, 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 ta-doom. The eye, it sees my soul is cursed. Ta-doom, 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 ta-doom. The windows shatter, the walls come apart. Ta-doom, 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 ta-doom. That evil eye, that horrible heart. Ta-doom, 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 ta-doom. I hear it crash and throb and thrum. Ta-doom, 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 ta-doom. The old man's hour had finally come. Ah! I removed the pillow from his face. The old man was dead. I closed his eyes, pulled the lid over the evil eye, the dead eye. It would trouble me no more. I worked quickly, for I had planned it out all carefully. Could a lunatic plan so carefully? I think not. My disease has sharpened my senses, but this is a benefit, is it not? I could see more colors in the spectrum than any other living being. I knew the scent of everyone and everything that had ever been in that old house. I could hold the length of linen in my fingers and count its threads, catalog each simple flavor in a complex taste of wine. Even hear the tiny creatures in the walls, the rats in the attic. Hear them breathe. No, I'm far from mad, and I had planned it well. For you see, I brought a toolbox during the daylight hours and concealed it in the closet in the corridor. The sun was rising, so I could not carry the old man outside to the street. But I had not planned that in any case. I dragged the old man to the bath and threw him in the tub, where I dismembered him. I stripped the skin so as to avoid getting blood on my clothing. I spread butcher's paper on the floor and spent the next several hours engaged in dissection. Legs, arms, head. Nice, neat packages. You see, I planned everything. Does that sound like something a lunatic would do? I took up the flooring in the old man's chamber, near the big window, which I'd been careful to cover, and I put the pieces, each one carefully wrapped between the scantlings. They fit, as if the spaces had been built for them. And you see, again, more planning, more care. I neatly tucked the old man in, as I had done so many times before. And then I covered him with a counterpane of flooring, putting it all back as it had been. I replaced the boards so cleverly, so cunningly, so that no human eye, not even his, could have detected anything. Even so close to the window, where the sun shone in brightly. And I gathered up the butcher's paper from the floor around the tub, taking care so as not to spill any of the blood. And I burnt it in the fireplace, the paper and blood incinerating and flying up the chimney and away. It was a good fire, a steady, healthy blaze. The old man would have liked it. He always enjoyed a cozy fire. I was sorry he wasn't there to see it. When I had made an end to these labors, I went home.
And slept?
Deeply. And that's where I was clever, where I planned. Not something a lunatic would do. I knew someone would miss the old man. There were those who knew I was his caretaker and would be suspicious of me.
Aye. Sooner or later, there'd be a report of a missing person.
And who would be most logical to file that report with the police, eh? Who?
Well, you, but...
Yes. And if I didn't do that, if the one who saw the old man every day wasn't the one to report him missing, would that be very suspicious?
It would. Yes.
Ha! So how can you call me mad? I reported him missing, you see. Everything planned. I waited one full day and reported him missing. Then I went to his house and waited for the police. The police, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I'm Inspector Talbot. This is my Associate Officer Simpson.
Ma'am?
Yes. Come in, come in.
Now, ma'am, you say your employer's gone missing?
Yes, I'm so worried. He wasn't in his room when I came in this morning.
His room?
Yes, in his bed.
And that's where you last saw him? In his bed?
Yes, he was in his bed when I left last evening.
Oh, I see.
He wasn't, isn't strong, you know. Simply crossing the room tires him. He spends most of his time in his bed. So when
He is ill?
my employer is a man of advanced years and his health is not good.
And he wasn't in his room this morning.
No.
And you've touched nothing?
In the room?
Yes.
No. No, when I found he was gone, I notified your officers immediately. Would you like to see the room?
Please.
Of course. This way, gentlemen.
What is the nature of your employment, if I might ask?
I'm his caretaker. His nurse, his...
But you don't live on the premises?
No. Oh, no. Here we are.
Oh, a very nice room, if I may say so.
It is, yes.
These glass figures here on the bureau.
Porcelain. Very valuable.
Then not likely to have been a burglary.
Indeed not.
Please, gentlemen, be seated.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'll get a chair for myself and put it here, near the window.
You've been through the house? Nothing missing?
No, nothing. Here, sit here.
And you've touched nothing before calling us?
No,
Nothing?
nothing. No, nothing.
The bed is made. Do you find that odd?
Excuse me?
I said the bed is made.
Yes.
Do you find that odd?
Excuse me?
The bed.
Yes?
It's been made.
Well, yes.
You touched nothing.
No, nothing. I touched. What was that?
What?
You didn't. There it is again. Surely you heard that.
No, I heard nothing.
Never mind then. It's gone now.
You said your master was bedridden
Well, yes.
and that he was fatigued. You have that note, Simpson?
Yes, sir. He isn't strong, you know. Simply crossing the room tires him. He spends most of his time in his bed.
Well, yes. Quite so.
And you said he was in his bed when you last saw him.
I did? I'm not sure I said.
And that's where you saw him last? In his bed? Yes, he was in his bed when I left last evening.
Can't you hear that?
I'm sorry.
I asked if you could hear that.
No. No. Simpson?
No, sir.
I would have sworn I.
So, you can imagine my confusion.
Your confusion?
Yes, the bed is made.
I do much of the tidying up. I made the bed last night when I left.
No, ma'am. He was in his bed when he left last evening. I have it right down here, in the book.
Well, he was. I mean, I could have.
It may mean nothing,
Nothing?
but the bed has been made.
Yes.
And when you last saw your master, he was...
Yes.
Lying in it.
He was. I said... You don't... I never said that. I meant to say... Perhaps it would be best if you came back another... You must understand, I'm overwrought. Why will you not be gone? What can I do? Can't you hear it? You're mocking me. You suspect. You know, don't you? You know. You're putting me through this agony. I can bear it no longer. I must scream or die. Hark! Hark! Louder! 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 Here! Under the floorboards! Here it is! Here it is! I confess! It is the heart! It is the beating of his hideous heart!
In a moment, after these words from our sponsors, we will return to the Cardinal Theater Radio Player's production of Twisted Tales of Poe. And now, we return to Twisted Tales of Poe.
Ah, but Montresor has awakened. Was it a nice nap, my friend?
It was, yes.
Some of us are telling stories. Do you have a story for us?
I am more sinned against than sinning.
You didn't murder then?
More correctly, I eliminated. I executed. I disposed of a pestilence, amputated a diseased portion from the body human.
Your story.
You must tell it.
Tell your story.
The 1,000 injuries of Fortunato I had borne as best I could, but when he ventured upon insult, I vowed revenge.
Revenge?
Revenge that could not be traced back to me. A wrong is not avenged when retribution overtakes its avenger.
What insult did he visit upon you?
I prefer not to discuss it. Suffice it to say, I had the family motto to uphold. Nemo me impuni lascet.
No enemy goes unpunished.
More accurately, no one attacks me with impunity. And though I vowed revenge, neither by word nor deed did I give Fortunato cause to doubt my goodwill. I smiled each time I saw him, and he misunderstood my smile for one of friendship. But in truth, it was in contemplation of his destruction. Fortunato, you see, took great pride in his knowledge of wines. This was the bait. The timing of it was perfect, for it was the season of Carnival. The streets were filled with costume revels, music and mirth, parades and pageants. The wine flowed in cataracts. One evening, during the supreme madness, just at dusk, I, costumed as Mephistopheles, encountered Fortunato, suitably intoxicated and dressed appropriately as the king's fool, his headdress trimmed in tiny bells.
Montresor!
My dear Fortunato, how remarkably well you are looking today.
And you as well.
Are you ill?
A slight cold, it's nothing. I can stay but a moment, I have engagement.
As do I.
Yes, where are you off to?
I have received a cask of passes as Amontillado.
Amontillado,
That is what the wine merchant told me in any case.
Indeed, Amontillado! A cask? Impossible.
You mustn't scold me for not consulting you. I was fearful of losing the bargain.
Amontillado!
As I say, I have my doubts.
Amontillado!
And as I knew you were busy entertaining during the Carnival season, I'm on my way to consult with Lucchesi about it.
Lucchesi?
I have heard some say his taste is a match for your own.
Nonsense! Come, let us go.
Go? Go where?
To your vault. I must give my expert opinion on your Amontillado.
I won't hear of it. You have an engagement, and I'm sure Lucchesi will...
I have no engagement. Come.
No, no, my friend. My wine cellar is so damp, you're cold.
The cold is nothing. Lucchesi cannot distinguish Amontillado from Manzia.
But you sound so
Pretender to my throne! Come, take my arm and let us away to your palazzo.
Here we are, Fortunato. A moment while I find my key.
Then nonsense, I'll ring the bell. Your man will let us in.
Not tonight, I fear, dear Fortunato. The servants are out.
Of course! Carnival!
May God bless you.
Thank you.
Ah, here's my key. Welcome to my home.
Yes, yes. Where is your wine cellar?
First, a small glass of port to toast our friendship.
I don't.
Please, here.
Very well.
To friendship.
To friendship! Ah, done it! Now to your cellar.
This way.
Lucchesi indeed. Lucchesi is a pig.
Here. Take this torch. Take care. The cellar's damp and the steps are slippery. Oh, got you. You see, I warned you.
You saved my life. I might have fallen and broken my neck.
Well, it wouldn't do to have you die that way, would it? One more step. Ah, here we are, my friend. The catacombs of the Montresor family, filled with wine and the bones of our ancestors. God bless you.
Thank you.
A serious cough, my friend.
It's nothing.
The cellar is so damp. It wouldn't do to have you catch your death down here. Not this way. Come, we'll go back.
No.
But your health is precious. You're rich, respected, admired, happy, as I once was. You will be missed. I will see Lucchesi about the Amontillado.
No. The cough is... The cough is a mere nothing. It will not kill me. I shall not die of a cough.
True. True. Ah, here. A drink of this medoc will defend us from the damps.
Yes, just the thing. But how is it? It's uncorked. And the flagons are ready.
Who can say? But it is our good fortune, eh?
Our good fortune to the dead who repose around us.
And those to come.
Indeed.
That should serve to quell your cough, I think. And if it does not, there are other remedies forthcoming.
Excellent, excellent. But the Amontillado, where's the Amontillado?
Further down the passage.
Bring the bottle.
Of course, come.
These vaults are extensive.
The Montresors were a great and numerous family.
I forget your family motto.
Nemo me impuni lasacet.
Yes, of course. No enemy attacks me without receiving punishment. And the coat of arms.
A human foot of gold and a field azure. The foot crushes a serpent rampant, whose fangs are embedded in the heel.
The snake exacts retribution.
Indeed he does. We're below the riverbed now. You see the moisture trickles among the bones. Oh, your cough! We should turn back before it's too late.
No! That's another flagon of Medoc.
The bottle's for you, my friend.
You're not having more?
I haven't your discerning palate. I'm saving my own for Amontillado. I do not wish to confuse the flavors. All the more for you, eh?
Excellent, excellent! Are you of the Brotherhood?
I'm sorry?
A Mason, are you a Mason?
Oh, yes, I am.
Give me a sign, then.
Of course. Here. I've been carrying it with me here, beneath my cape.
A trowel? Why would you carry a trowel?
A working tool of a master mason.
You jest.
Perhaps not so much as you might imagine.
Excuse me?
Yes, I jest. A jest for a jester.
For jest? Oh, my costume, yes, a jest for a jester. You double. You see? You doubled your own costume.
Indeed, and a fooling for a fool.
Eh? Oh, the jester knows the fool.
The fool. Shall we move along then?
Yes. Your arm. My balance is uncertain on these damp floors.
Yes, certainly.
Just for the jester. Fool for fool.
And down these steps. Oh, careful now.
Careful. We mustn't wake the dead.
The dead will not wake, and we are deep enough now that the living would never hear.
Never hear. Ah, my torch burns low.
There isn't much oxygen down here. You see, the air is foul.
Most foul. The Amontillado.
Just in here, into the small vault.
You've hidden it. Hidden it well.
Well, of course, Amontillado after all.
Oh, we shall see. Lucchesi.
Careful of the bones.
Bones, pile of bones. The Amontillado, where?
Here, in this small recess, step through the hole in the masonry. It's not very deep. You won't have to go too far. Step up and over. That's right. Watch your head going in.
Bend over, watch my head. Where's the Amontillado? Where?
Put your arms up here, if you please.
Arms up. You coming with me, Montessor? Cut.
No, my friend. I only need to reach in to fasten the cuffs. Ah, it is done.
What is...
It is a fine little niche you occupy in my family's history, isn't it? Small and mean and eventually completely forgotten. How appropriate.
What are you doing? Let me go.
This dampness is no good at all for your cough. Well, I must go. Are you coming? No? Very well. Allow me then to see to your privacy.
What are you?
See here. Beneath this pile of my ancestors' bones, we find, mortar and building stones. They should fit nicely in this opening between us. Now, where did I put my secret sign? Ah, here it is, the mason's trowel. To work then. I truly do have an appointment later tonight.
But the Amontillado.
Oh yes, the Amontillado. Do you see the cask in there with you?
No, I don't. I don't see it.
Ah, well then, I suspect it doesn't exist after all. I believe, my friend, your intoxication will be cured quite quickly. Fear will do that. The cough will die with its master, I think. Fear not, Fortunato. These are new chains and very strong. I've threaded them through iron staples driven into the solid granite wall behind you. Can you see? You'll have occasion to admire the craftsmanship of it, I believe. It took me some little time.
I don't understand what to...
And the iron cuffs, closed with new padlocks.
Let me out. Let me go.
No, I'm afraid not, my friend. It has taken too much planning to get you here.
Montresor, please, I have always been your friend.
You have never been my friend! And you have wounded me more times than I may count!
But whatever I have said or done is so minor that I can't.
There will be time, Fortunato, to contemplate how willing you have followed me here, to consider the role you have played, eagerly played, in your own death. Finished then? As luck would have it, so am I. You see, a wall of stone and mortar to seal your vault. And your fate. I could do better with more time, but it will suffice. Only one more stone to fit into place. Look once more, Fortunato, before the window is closed for good.
Very good joke indeed. An excellent jest. We will have many a rich laugh about this, won't we, my friend?
I will, in any case, yes.
We will speak of this often at the palazzo and laugh over our wine.
Our Amontillado.
Yes, Amontillado! But it is late, and they will be awaiting me at the palazzo, the Lady Fortunato, the rest, and your... Oh, well, I forgot. You haven't. She's no longer... I must go now.
Yes, you must. Allow me to put in this last stone, then.
For the love of God, Montresor.
Yes, for the love of God. Ah, finished. What's this? Fortunato's cap of bells. He's left it behind. I'll leave it at Carnival. No doubt another fool can put it to use. Oh, look at the time. Fortunato, will you come with me? No? Very well then. Farewell, my friend. Watch for snakes. Nemo mi impuni lasicet, impasse resequat. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So, Montresor, you still claim you didn't murder?
I still claim it. The last time I saw Fortunato, he was alive. And when the authorities found him, some little time later, he was not.
Seems we all get what we deserve in the end.
Yes.
Even you.
Even I.
Doesn't talk much, that other one.
The poet? Never. As I said, catalepsy.
He hasn't told you his story then?
Certainly not. He can't.
Think there's anything going on behind his eyes?
Perhaps. He might be contemplating his future, reliving a past, imagining a present.
Who can say what he's thinking, locked away inside himself?
Indeed. Who can say?
My deepest sympathies, my boy.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Goodbye then. And, well, if I can do anything for you.
Yes, thank you.
Jules and I want you to know that we're here if you need anything.
Anything at all. Well, you know how we...
How we worry about you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Well, yes. Well, good night then. Good night.
Good night.
Oh my, it's growing quite cold out.
Bundle up warm, dear. Bundle up warm. Storm coming.
It was a lovely ceremony.
Yes, it was.
She would have... Goodbye.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night, then.
Good night, Helen. Thank you.
You have enough to keep yourself busy?
Oh, yes. I have some research. I'll spend lots of time in the library going over my books, making notes.
Yes, of course. Lose yourself in scholarship.
That's right.
No sense in blaming yourself, you know.
No, I wasn't.
Her heart wasn't strong.
No.
And the burden your relationship put upon her.
Burden?
Oh, you know, the turmoil.
Turmoil.
And the worry, of course. Well, we all worry about those we love, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Some are simply too fragile for it. Well, don't stay up too late then.
No, I'll be in bed by midnight.
And don't feel guilty. Don't feel the least guilt.
No, I...
Well, good night then. And once again, my heartfelt sympathies.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good
night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Keep warm. It's getting cold, I think.
Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this, and nothing more. Ah, distinctly I remember, it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This it is, and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, "Lenore." This I whispered, and the echo murmured back the word,
Lenore.
Merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard a tapping somewhat louder than before. Surely, said I, surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more. Open here I flung the shutter, when with many a flirt and flutter in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with mien of lord or lady perched above my chamber door. Perched upon a bust of Pallas just above my chamber door. Perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird, beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou, I said, art sure no craven, ghastly, grim, and ancient raven wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore. Quoth the raven,
Nevermore.
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 Nevermore. Much I marveled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore, for we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such name as Nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing further than he uttered, not a feather than he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said,
Nevermore.
Nevermore.
Nevermore! Startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken, doubtless, said I, what it utters is its only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master, whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore, of never, nevermore. But the raven, still beguiling all my fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking, nevermore. This I sat, engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining, on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated o'er. But whose velvet violet lining with the lamplight gloating o'er she shall press, nevermore.
No sense blaming yourself, you know.
Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer swung by seraphim, whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee, respite, and nepent thee from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind nepenthe, and forget this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore.
Nevermore.
Nevermore. Nevermore.
Nevermore.
Her heart wasn't strong.
Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempter sent or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore. Desolate yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me, truly I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore.
The excitement you brought to her.
Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore. Tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aiden it shall clasp a sainted maiden, whom the angels name Lenore. Clasp a rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore.
Some are simply too fragile for it.
Be that word our sign in parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked, upstarting. Get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beat from out my heart and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven,
Never more.
Nevermore.
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 and the raven, never flitting, still is sitting, on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor. And my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore.
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 We will return to our drama in a moment, but first, a word from our sponsor.
Our menu at the Whitney House is inspired by the glory days of Sunday dinners when the entire family, along with a cadre of friends and neighbors, piled into the dining room to sit, catch up, and enjoy a delicious meal together. Located in downtown Worthington, the Whitney House serves made-from-scratch, rustic yet refined American comfort food. We use fresh and local ingredients and constantly look for new and innovative ways to serve our community.
And now, we return to Twisted Tales of Poe.
Here comes another one.
Ours or yours?
Can't tell.
Your men are closer. Your cell is closer.
Too far down the corridor.
We can't see around. There's a corner. We can't.
Here he comes.
Get in there! And be quick about it.
All right. Let go of my arm, would you?
Welcome, gentle pilgrim. Welcome to the Leverett Street Jail.
Death Warrant Division.
Well, gee, thanks for the warm greeting.
What are you in for?
Killed a cat.
They don't hang you for that.
Oh, they'll hang me for it.
Must be quite a story.
It is.
Tell it then.
Very well. Well, starts with the cat.
The cat?
The black cat. See, I've always been especially fond of animals, and growing up, I always had a pet. I married early and was happy to find in my wife the same disposition. We had this cat, Pluto. Large and beautiful, all black.
The devil in disguise.
Yeah, so my wife said, and not without humor. Pluto followed me wherever I went around the house. But then I began to drink, and this changed my character.
Your wife remained with you.
She did. I cannot say why, for I could be dangerously violent. What do you do with a drunken sailor? What do you do with a... Let me in, I'm home. What do you do with a drunken sailor? What do you... Mary, I'm home. Way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises early in the morning.
Where have you been?
What?
I asked you where you've been.
Get that cat out of my way!
I was worried about you. Oh, I only wish you...
Never good enough, huh? Always complaining, always picking at me.
No, I only...
Come here!
Let's go!
Is that good enough for you?
No,
Come here!
Sorry,
Is that good enough?
Stop, please! Look out, the cat!
Get out of my way, you! Bite me, will ya? Bite me, or I'll show you, you stupid cat. Come here!
What are you? Put down that knife! Let him go!
Here's a lesson for ya.
What did you do?
I took a penknife from my waistcoat pocket, grasped the poor beast by the throat, and deliberately cut one of its eyes from the socket.
You killed it?
No, I dropped the poor creature and it ran, yowling, trailing blood as it went.
You felt no shame.
Yes, I did. And I blamed the creature for it. Each evening thereafter, upon my return home, Pluto, who slowly recovered, would flee at my approach. At first I grieved over this, for he had once loved me. All too soon, grief gave way to anger and loathing. The healing wound I'd inflicted upon him only reminded me of my own inner wounds, self-inflicted and festering. I couldn't stand the sight of him, and determined to end my torment. Here, puss, puss, puss.
Haven't you done enough to the poor beast? Why can't you leave him alone?
Because I don't care to! Because it runs from me, and it deserves a lesson. Must be here somewhere. Ah, cornered yourself, have you?
Be careful, the drapery, you'll...
Hell with the drapery! I just want the cord. There now.
What are you doing? You can't...
Oh, just making a little noose. That's me, Jack Ketch the Hangman. Here, puss. Here now. Get your head right through. Here now. Gotcha! Uh-huh. Try to bite me, will ya? No, you don't. Pull it tight. There's a watch fob for ya. Look at him swing. Look at him kick.
You're killing him, don't!
Out of my way.
Where are you going?
To the hangman's tree.
No, stop!
Here we are, then. Just throw it over the branch.
No, please, no, Pluto, please,
and
no!
Pull it tight. He had loved me, but my soul was black with rum, and I hated him for that love. I hung him because he loved me, and because he had so many times forgiven me for my cruelties, and because his love and forgiveness made me feel small and mean for my sins. I celebrated that night with more drink, came home and fell asleep with my pipe between my teeth. I was aroused from sleep by the cry of
Fire!
Hey, what the?
My bedclothes were in flames. The whole house was ablaze. My wife found a pathway through the inferno and then came back for me. She saved me out of love. She was burned, though not badly, while I was unharmed. The destruction to the house was complete. My entire worldly wealth was gone. I resigned myself to despair. The next morning, I found a crowd picking through the smoldering remains.
What's going on?
Morning.
Morning.
Not much left, is there?
No, there isn't.
This your place?
It is. It was.
Funny about that wall, isn't it?
Wall?
Over there. Can't see from here. Too many people in the way. Never seen anything like it, though.
What do you mean?
Go look.
Okay, very well.
I've been waiting here.
Excuse me. May I please come through? Excuse me, please.
I've been waiting here.
Please, let me see. Let me through. Hey, out of my way. This is my house.
Your house, you say?
Yes.
How do you explain this, then?
I don't know what you're talking about. What's everyone looking at over there? I can't see a thing.
Move aside, everyone. Move aside. Here's the owner of the thing. Let him through. You move. There it is, sir. What do you make of it?
The crowd parted to reveal all that remained standing of my house. The twisted and blackened frame of my own bed, and the wall against which it had rested. And there on the wall, as if graven in bas relief, reproduced in soot and ashes, was the figure of a monstrous cat. I beheld the apparition with wonder and terror. It was Pluto, clearly. A rope around his neck, a single eye, luminous and angry.
You did this?
No, it was never there before.
So, what then?
Well, I don't know. The cat had been hanged from a branch in the side garden, but it...
Hanged?
Oh my God.
Yes, I cannot say by whom, but it was there. As for this, I don't know what to think.
You know what I think, sir? I think the fire was sparked by Satan's own furnace. I think Satan himself painted it. I think it's a warning.
A warning?
Yes, sir. A warning that he's coming.
Who?
Satan. To find the person who hanged his cat.
The devil? He said that?
Yes, he did. We quickly found another house. Less splendid, perhaps, though there was some trouble meeting the rent, for everything we owned had burned, and much of our money went to drink. Then, as I sat up late one night, my attention was drawn to a deep blackness in the far corner. A shadow, I thought, and then it moved, came forward, and became a black cat. Fully as large as Pluto, and resembling him in nearly every respect, even missing an eye, the same eye I dug from Pluto's face.
A ghost?
Well, one-eyed cats are hardly unique, huh? And while Pluto was all black, this cat had a large patch of white covering his breast. He came directly to me, rubbed against me and curled up by my side. My wife took an immediate liking to the creature, and over the next number of days bonded strongly with it.
Here, puss. Here, puss.
What are you doing?
Giving him a bowl of milk.
Mary, we've hardly got enough milk for ourselves.
He's got to live too, doesn't he? Such a pretty pussycat. Yes, yes, he is. You see? He's happy.
Look here, you can't...
That's enough now. Oh, Mrs. Pitts.
Mary! I brought the cloth that you spoke of.
Oh, yes.
I'll need a dress and 2 shirts from it by the week from Sunday.
Yes, ma'am.
Here, payment in advance.
Oh, very generous. Thank you, Mrs. Pitts.
I'll be back a week from Sunday. Bedlow.
Mrs. Pitts.
Good day, Mary.
Good day.
Old Harridan.
She's one of my best customers. If it weren't for the sewing, we wouldn't have a dime, and you know it. Here, puss. Here, puss, puss.
Let it starve for all I care.
Oh, look.
What?
The white marking on his breast. You see that? It's become sharper somehow.
Your imagination.
No, truly. It almost looks like...
What?
Looks like a gallows.
It was exact. A perfect outline. Now the cat terrified me, filled me with growing horror, and it would not leave me alone. Not even as I slept. I would awaken from dreams of unutterable fear to find the hot breath of the thing upon my face, its vast weight upon my chest, and eternally upon my heart. And it followed me everywhere. I had not a single moment's peace. Finally, it was my downfall for one day.
Have you done chopping the wood?
Yeah,
Took you some time.
this old axe needs replacing.
Haven't the money for it.
I know that.
Come with me to the cellar. We'll take out potatoes for dinner and see if the plasterwork on the walls has dried yet.
Very well. Hey, look out there!
Careful!
You damn beast! Have this then! Oh, can't I? Then you have it! Ah! Mary? Mary? Mary!
You killed your wife?
Well, she tried to stop me. In a blinding rage, I guess I buried the axe in her brain.
An accident.
But who would believe it? I had to get rid of the body. I couldn't leave with it, for there was some danger of being seen.
Bury her in the cellar floor.
Better yet, there was a projection in one of the walls of the cellar, where an old fireplace had been bricked over. Only the day before, we had laid fresh plaster on the walls, but the dampness had prevented it from hardening quickly. Here, then, was the place to conceal her body. I grabbed a crowbar and a pint of rum and set to work.
Come on, come on. Good, good. Won't be long now, Mary. You'll have a room all to yourself. Care for a drink? No. Oh, should I have another? Yes, thank you. Don't mind if I do. Someone at the door upstairs. We'll ignore it. Shh. Quiet, Mary. Shh. We've got a lot of work to do down here, Mary. No time to... Loud enough to wake the dead. You awake, Mary? Shh. Don't wake, Mary. Best go see to it. Hey, I'm coming. Don't wake the dead up there.
Mr. Bedloe.
Mrs. Pitts. And how are you this morning?
It is evening, Mr. Bedloe. And I'm fine. I've come for the sewing.
Sewing?
A dress and 2 shirts. Is Mary in?
No. Mary is visiting relatives in Baltimore.
She left them for me then?
No.
No. Now that is singularly odd, Mr. Bedloe. Mary has been most reliable. I'll just come in and...
No, she didn't leave anything. She's visiting relatives.
Is there blood on your shirt?
Blood? Yes, I cut myself shaving.
By the look of you, Mr. Bedloe, you haven't shaved...
I said cut myself shaving! Now go! Go! Now, make the opening large enough to... There. Oh, that should do it. Should fit. Up you go, Mary dear. There you are, Mary. There you go. Just like that. Get the leg in there. Not enough room to lie you down, huh? Then we'll just stand you up again and... there you are. Just like that. Easy, Mary. There now. Let me see. Move your arm, Mary. Move your... Up. I almost forgot. I'll move it then. There we are. I must say, Mary, you've looked better. Almost done, Mary. Let's look about now. The axe. Take it with you, Mary. And we'll scoop up the bloody sand on the floor. That goes into... What's this? A piece of your skull, Mary. How careless of you to have left it out. Here, take it. And while I'm about it, here's my bloody shirt. And the empty rum bottle. Now to find the beast what caused this. Here, puss. Here, puss. Here, puss.
But the cat was nowhere to be found. I mixed the mortar, relaid the bricks, and covered them with fresh plaster. The second and third day passed, and the black cat was nowhere in sight. I decided it had fled the premises and was happy to be rid of it. The guilt of my dark deed disturbed me but little, and as the days passed, I knew that in the cellar, the plaster was hardening, hiding my transgressions forever. Then, on the 4th day,
Mr. Augustus Bedloe?
Yeah?
Inspector Talbot, this is my associate, Officer Simpson.
Sir?
We're with the police, sir.
The police?
Yes, sir. May we come in?
Certainly. Come in.
Is Miss Bedlow in, sir?
Oh, my wife has gone to visit relatives in Baltimore.
I see that.
We've had a report that Mrs. Bedlow has gone missing, sir.
Oh, this is about the shirts, isn't it?
May we, have a look around, sir?
Look around? Certainly. Come along, come along. Well, you can see there isn't much furniture. We had a fire, you see, some while back, and everything was lost.
What's down there, sir?
Down there?
Yes, sir.
The cellar.
Would you mind if we had a look in the cellar, Mr. Bedlow?
No, certainly not. I've got nothing to hide. Nothing to hide in the cellar. Here, I'll go down with you.
Take that lamp down, would you, Simpson?
Yes, sir.
You can clearly see there's nothing down here, Inspector. Dirt floor with a layer of sand. You're welcome to dig if you like.
Why would we, do that, Mr. Bedlow?
No reason. Police work, I suppose. Digging for clues, as they say. You see anything here, Inspector, Officer Simpson?
No, sir. Not much to see.
Of course not. I am happy then to have allayed your suspicions. So I wish you a very good day, gentlemen. A very good day and a very good life then, huh? A life of health and good fortune. A life built on a solid foundation, huh? I dare say a foundation as solid as the one upon which this house is built. Here, Officer Simpson, give me your nightstick.
Oh, no, sir.
Nonsense, I'll give it back. Here you are, then. Check out the strength of these here walls. Solid, see? Solid as a...
What's that?
It's nothing.
Hear it?
No, I don't hear anything. It's not... What?
The devil?
It's
what
not
is
what
it?
you think. It's...
Where is it?
It's not...
Simpson! It's behind that wall! Take it down! Oh!
My God.
The corpse, already greatly decayed and clotted with gore, stood erect before our eyes. Upon its head, with red extended mouth and solitary eye of fire, sat the hideous beast whose craft had seduced me into murder and whose screeching had consigned me to the hangman. I had walled the monster within the tomb.
Thy soul shall find thyself alone, mid dark thoughts of the gray tombstone, not one of all the crowd to pry into thine hour of secrecy.
Be silent in that solitude, which is not loneliness, for the spirits of the dead who stood in life before thee are again in death around thee, and their wills shall overshadow thee. Be still.
Now our thoughts thou shalt not banish, now our visions ne'er to vanish. From thy spirit shall they pass, no more like dewdrop from the grass.
The breeze, the breath of God, is still, and the mist upon the hill, shadowy, yet unbroken, is a symbol and a token. How it hangs upon the trees, mystery of mysteries.
You have been listening to the radio dramatization of Twisted Tales of Poe, written by Philip Grecian, based on the stories of Edgar Allan Poe, and produced by the Cardinal Theatre Radio Players. So now, good night and pleasant dreams.